Hey guys, what's up? Advanced server just dropped an update and we're about to see what's cooking. First up, we have Cyclops and his second skill upgrade. As you can see, the range is now bigger. And here's the side-by-side comparison to official server. With this one, you don't have to go near the enemies to land the skill. To balance the skill, the developers had to slightly lower his second skill damage. I think that's a fair trade, right? Remember, his ultimate is now faster, making Cyclops deadlier with his combos. Next, we have the changes on Zhuxin. The developer said her minion clearing ability is weak, while her crowd control in teamfights is too high. To fix this, they will make the following adjustments. Her second skill when hitting minions and jungle creeps will not consume mana. As you can see, I can keep on casting the skill without affecting my mana. However, each time you hit an enemy hero, 100 to 150 mana is consumed. This should limit her ability to pull enemies consecutively because the new version consumes mana pretty fast. Right here, I'm already using Clock of Destiny, but the increased mana cost is really noticeable. But on the bright side, the damage of the skill is now higher. Another limiting factor on her CC effect is the passive. Instead of 30 stacks, it will only give 20, and each stack will return 4% of the max mana instead of 3. To balance these new effects, they had to remove the feature where her second skill does not consume mana while in ultimate state. Also, her first and ultimate will no longer need mana to cast. So yeah, these are big changes to Zhuxin, but its main goal is to limit her CC potential while increasing her lane clearing ability. No more consecutive pulls, but you get to clear the minions faster. Is this enough to remove her out of the ban section? Next up, we have Argus, where they reverted some of the passive skill changes last week. To avoid confusion, I'll just show you the comparison of the skill on both servers. Here's a breakdown of the changes. He now gains 10 energy every second instead of 5. Passive attacks gives 10 energy, which is the same on official server. Critical strikes will now grant 10 energy instead of 5. The ability to ignore 40% of the enemy's defense is still there. However, the passive damage and heal is slightly weaker with a minus 50 points. Moving on, his second skill will give lower movement speed from 40 down to 20%, and it still has the ability to give 100 energy when hitting an enemy hero. And then we have this new ultimate with 2 phases, deals AoE damage, and grants movement buff. And during his ultimate state, the advanced server version can regenerate energy much faster. Plus, his passive grants 50 energy for every hit and another extra 50 for critical strikes when in ultimate state. These changes make Argus a more energy efficient fighter. The increased energy regen and energy gains from passive attacks and critical strikes will allow him to utilize his passive more frequently. While his passive damage and heal have been slightly nerfed, the enhanced energy management and ultimate benefits should give us a better Argus when compared to official server. Next, we have the revert on Lolita's nerf last week. Her passive is back, but it will now scale with both HP and magic power. The goal is to limit her full magic build. Basically, you can still use magic items, but it won't be as strong as before. The upside is that you can use HP items to increase her passive shield. Next is the revamped Granger. His second skill cooldown can be reduced by 0.5 seconds whenever his first skill hits a target. Basically just like his old version, right? But on this one, you need around 2 skills to dash again. And then we also have the lower damage on his skill 1 and higher energy cost on his ultimate. Next on our list is the nerf on Julian. They lowered the base damage of his enhanced first skill by 10 to 30 points. This should weaken his burst ability in the early and mid game. Next are the changes on Alice. Her main role is now tank because of her passive skill adjustment last week, and her ultimate will now deal extra damage based on the enemy's missing HP. Next is the nerf on Zhask. The HP of his first skill spawn has been lowered in the early game. This means you can easily kill that annoying spawn in the early laning phase. Next is the buff on Nolan. His ultimate will now have a 30% slow effect for 0.5 seconds. And its cooldown is shortened by 3 seconds. Next is the revamped Hanzo. His first skill can now directly consume minions just like this. No need to apply marks. This is good if you need to recover your HP fast. However, this only works on minions. You still need to apply marks on jungle creeps. Last one is the Battle Spell Inspire. The faster attack speed will only apply on the first 6 basic attacks instead of 8. And that's it for our weekly advanced server update. So what can you say about the new Cyclops? Do you like the changes on Argus? Share it in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.